All right, hard at work chocolate tasting. Let me tell you, let me emphasize hard at work here. Tasting this brand new line of delicious flavor origin bars. Now, at the top of the month, the beginning of the new year, we did a post on our Instagram channel. We asked you, what do you think our new special project with chocolate was going to be this year? Now, apart from the book, that is, I'll get into later, but I wanted to kind of see if anybody could guess, and there were some great guesses of what we were going to be up to for this new year, 2022, when it comes to chocolate making. Now, if you've tasted the chocolate that we make here, that we fresh stone grind from scratch, that we add medicinal mushrooms to each of those bars, that has been a staple at Lightseller for a number of years. Now, we are going to add a new direction, which is these flavor origin bars. What I mean by that is we are now beginning to source cacao beans from around the world. And depending on where it comes from, the different origins have completely different flavors. So these are the first 3 brand new bars in the series. They don't even have labels on them yet. That's what I'm hard at work doing. And I'm tasting them and I'm coming up with flavor descriptions. Right? This is the most incredible thing about chocolate and chocolate tasting, is that chocolate's got 3 times more flavor compounds than wine. And you might be thinking, whoa, how come I've never tasted that, right? Where are that diversity of flavor notes in the average chocolate bar? Well, I'll tell you, the average chocolate bar, they take that out. It's kind of this, they want to homogenize the flavor so that you get that same exact, consistent, what could be described as literally like dark chocolate, chocolate brownie, chocolate. Like that is the flavor note. And there's very little variation because of the variety they're using and how it is processed, mass manufactured to have this kind of single note. But if you selectively choose different heirloom beans from around the world and you let those beans express their inherent flavor characteristics that comes from the terroir and all these other factors, you get a diversity of flavors. So just like you can read on the back of a bottle of wine, you know, where it's hints of cherry and notes of oak, these types of flavor descriptions are absolutely a part of what tasting chocolate should be. And that's our new project this year, is to add this line of flavor origin bars. So we've sourced the very first 3 bars are from 3 different parts of the world. We brought them in, we actually roasted them. This was a new direction for us as well, to begin to experiment with roasting, to pull out, to emphasize different flavor notes in each of these beans. And then we cracked them, meaning we broke those beans apart in order to winnow off the shell, to blow off that shell, and then we ground them and stone ground them with just pure organic cane sugar, which is a very neutral flavor, which allows the flavor of the chocolate, the cacao bean, to come through and express itself. So right now, what I'm doing is writing the descriptions, writing the labels. So I'm tasting each one, and I'm like, it's a journey for the palate. Right? And there's a specific process to chocolate tasting. And that's what I want to invite you to be a part of. If you're curious, if you'd love to become a chocolate sommelier, to refine your chocolate connoisseur abilities, then you want to join me for a chocolate tasting, where these bars are going to be exclusively available through this event that's coming up. So let's describe each of these beans, where they come from and their kind of flavor notes, and then how you can get involved. So in the gold wrapper, this is beans that come from Vietnam. Now, in Asia, there's not as much chocolate growing, certainly not near as much that grows in Africa, one of the world's largest producers, and certainly still not even nearly as much as the origins of chocolate, which is in Central and South America. So Vietnam, because of the type of bean, the variety they have there, and then the environment, the terroir, it has such a unique flavor characteristic that can only be experienced. So I'm very excited about that one. The next we have one from the Mayan lands, from Honduras, Copan. And this one, whew, has some, again, very distinct, incredible flavor notes. And here I am, I'm trying to describe them. So this one here I've described, and you know, when you taste them too, there is certain notes that we'll be able to pick out, but it's actually a journey for your palate, right? Where the flavor starts, what it evolves into, and how it finishes is actually a journey and an evolution that I know you're just gonna love, and it's gonna take your chocolate experience when you taste chocolate to a whole new level. And this is how really we should be appreciating chocolate. It allows us to, you know, have a nice beautiful bar like this, and dare I say, you know, last a week. Because every time you have a bite, you really savor it. You really go into that taste experience. Now, the third one is from a very specific region in Peru, the Ucayali region. And it's quite a well-known, famous bean in the chocolate world for the complexity of its flavor. Now, believe it or not, I'm describing this one as having raisin, marshmallow, and graham cracker flavors. I haven't given any hints yet as to what the other ones taste like, but just to kind of give you a sense, raisin, marshmallow, and graham cracker, very different than the other two, and again, 100% comes from the bean. There's no raisin, there's no marshmallow, there's no graham cracker in there. That is the expression of the cacao bean and the flavor notes that it has, and how we've been able to pull those out in how we've created it and processed it. So just creating up the labels, these are going to get stickered up, and they're going to be available exclusively through the chocolate book launch, and specifically the chocolate tasting package. Now, the chocolate book is in print production, so it's still going to be a little while until the physical copies are here, but we've got the bars ready, we have an e-copy ready, we've got a PDF chocolate tasting notes for you to get as part of this package, as well as a chocolate flavor wheel. Now, this is going to help you, develop your palate to become more that chocolate sommelier, where you can begin to start to pick out different notes that you are recognizing, you're identifying in tasting, whether it's these chocolates or other chocolates. So that's all a part of it. And it's on Saturday, January 22nd, that we're going to have this chocolate tasting experience. So if you go to lightcellar.ca, go to recipe books, and kind of scroll down, look at all the options. There's the chocolate tasting package, which includes the book, includes the 3 bars, it includes this chocolate tasting session, the notes, and this flavor wheel, and we're going to have a great time on that call all together, learning about chocolate. I'll highlight some of the stuff that I've written in the book that, this, what I call are the 6 factors that make up the flavor. I've mentioned a couple of them. Most notably is the genetics of the bean, so what is the type, and then also the terroir, right? The environment, the landscape that the chocolate grows in. So if that sounds like a lot of fun to you, would love to have you on the call. Go ahead to lightcellar.ca under recipe books, and then look for Chocolate Life. And then there's a couple of different options: the chocolate making, the chocolate tasting. We're also doing a sacred cacao ceremony that you can be a part of. And if all of those sound good, they're happening in the month of January, easing into February. There is what we call the ultimate, which is each of those packages, each of those experiences that you're going to get. That's the best value. It's the best deal. Love for you to join me and take your chocolate experience to the next level. I can't wait to share these bars with you. For now, they're just exclusively available as part of this chocolate tasting kit, and really hope you'll join me.